Hi, Leather Rokk here, and this is Cassie. Welcome to my channel. Oh, meow yourself. So, pardon me for not being my usual glamorous self, but we are under quarantine because of the coronavirus, so I thought that it would not be appropriate at this time for me to showcase the usual clothing that I wear when I go out, or that I would wear if I was going out, because until further notice, for at least 2 weeks, maybe longer, I am not going out of the house. I don't need to. And if you're like me and you're following what the Centers for Disease Control recommends and you're staying home, you still want to probably put makeup on because maybe you're shopping from home, and the mailman does ring your doorbell, and you do want to look good for service people, but you don't want to use your absolute favorite stuff. Take a look at the makeup I'm wearing. Matter of fact, I'm going to step back where the lighting is better so you can get a better look. I decided that I would use some of my least favorite colors from one of my makeup palettes, because when you're not going out anywhere, you don't want to use up your best stuff, but you still want to use up stuff. So I was thinking these quarantine days are a really great time to go and use colors that you don't like, just so that you use them. So that's what I did with this. I wanted to use up some of the neutral colors in some of my palettes. And what a better time to do that than when you don't think too many people are going to see you anyway. So I'm going to show you how I came up with the look that I'm wearing right now. And the palette that I'm using is the B&H Cosmetics Foil Eyes 2. You have seen this palette before. And I wanted to use something that I could use as much as possible just out of one palette. And I'm going to tie my hair back. I was going to maybe do a pajama fashion show for one of my videos, but I really don't have enough clothing of that type to warrant a fashion show. Sometimes, just because I want to be comfortable, I'm just going to wear things that are either keeping me warm, because in the wintertime my place is very drafty, and in the summertime I have no air conditioning, so my own skin is too hot for me. So I am going to try to be comfortable, but I am going to see, I've got all the necessary things to do this with. I am not wearing foundation. I'm not wearing any kind of cheek color. The idea for this look is something that's easy to wash off, that you don't need oils or makeup removers, even though what I have in my hand is oil for my eye makeup. So I'm going to, and you know what? I'm even going to show you a quick and easy eyebrow color. I used one of the eyeshadow colors that's actually close to my root. This look especially would be good if you have a lot of root area. If you have a fresh dye job, then I would go ahead and go for the usual brow color that's close to your natural, or the hair dye that you're using. Cassie, I see you. Oh, she's going to be bad. So, for those of you who might have a morbid curiosity about just how pale my eyebrows really are, now is your chance to finally see. I am a natural redhead, and natural redheads, for the most part, are not blessed with dark, beautiful eyebrows. Not if they're real redheads. And hopefully I won't spill the rest of this. I hear you. I hear Cassie. Oh, what a mess. Mm. Cassie. Oh my. I feel like I'm actually getting overheated in my room. I just couldn't see the point of getting dressed up in fancy clothes when this is not the time for any health conscious American to be doing something like that. Okay. You know what? I might as well wipe this lipstick off too. Looks like this are really good when you just want to do a simple face wash. The only thing that I had on my face was skincare and sunblock. You gotta keep wearing sunblock. That is just extremely important. Now, first thing I'm going to do is an eyebrow or an eyelid coating. I want to do that before I do the actual eyebrow color. There's a whole lot of colors you can use. I am using the ELF Eyes, Lips, Face Eye Primer and Liner Sealer. First, I'm going to go and find a decent mirror. Now, this is darker than my skin color, so I'm actually going to add something else on my brow bone closer to my eyebrow, because it really is necessary to have a lighter color closer to my eyebrows for any of this to even show up. For that, I am actually going to dip into my Ben Nye cream color. This is the white, absolute white. Now, unless you're real pale, I wouldn't recommend this. Stick a finger that does not have long nails, and you want to tap close to the edge so that you can mix that too dark base so that you get a color that's closer to what your skin color is. If it's a little on the white side, that's not so bad. Cassie, you better be good. And you also want to go just Cassie. Oh, I hope she doesn't get on my other computer. I'm also going to take a little bit of that white that's left over, put it on the other side of my eyebrow. As a matter of fact, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to touch the eyebrow a little bit, because we are going to use this palette, and one of these eyeshadow colors is actually going to be a brow bone, or an eyebrow color. Now, I'm going to look at these frosty browns and coppers on the top here, and I'm going to find the color that's closest to my actual roots. Cassie, you better be good. Cassie, I'm going to use this color right here, and I'm going to use the B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 17. Oh, wait a minute. Cassie is getting up on my computer. What are you doing? What are you doing? Want to go? These cats. Okay. Get a good covering on this brush to this color here. If you're following along, just find a shadow that's close to your roots. And then I'm going to get the mirror, and I'm not going to exaggerate. I'm just going to follow along with the natural shape of my eyebrows. And this brush is a really good shape and size for that. sometimes it's good to do the inward part first. Then I would recommend getting some more shadow onto the brush. Then the next side, see? When I told you that was what my eyebrows really were shaped like, I was not exaggerating. They just happened to be too see-through. This is why I'm guessing a lot of natural redheads do not think that they're attractive without makeup on. If only my eyebrows were naturally dark and beautiful, like I'm guessing more than half of you guys are, that's partly why I have such a hang-up about not liking to be seen without my makeup. And that's also why, if nothing else, I feel like I need to have at least some color on my eyebrows. That is the most important basic makeup that I feel I have to be seen wearing. And I, as a rule, do not let myself be seen without makeup on. I'm very strict with that. You know what? I didn't start letting anybody at all see me under any state of less than made upness until I started making videos here for YouTube. So it's taken a long time and a lot of years for me to get comfortable with the idea. And I'll never feel comfortable with it. But, okay, I've got some eyebrows on. And if you can see, that is quite a close match to the roots. Now, the rest of this is real easy. We are going to first, you want to look for a mid-tone color that's a little bit darker than your skin tone. And I'm going to use these two shades. They're fairly similar. I don't even know how to describe them. I'm going to attempt to call this maybe like a dusty rose kind of color. And I am going to load this Vivace brush that's really good for depositing and blending color. And I am going to concentrate this just on the lid only. Follow along with the curve of your eyeball. And since you put on a sticky base on your eyelid, that will allow this to adhere. These are two of my least favorite colors in this palette. If you're following along, just use any similar colors that maybe are not your favorite. This will give you a chance to use up some colors that maybe you might hardly if ever use in your palettes. That way you could still get use of these colors and definitely take advantage of days when you're under quarantine and nobody's going to see you, or few people are going to see you. Like, what if you're home and one of your Facebook friends contacts you via the video chat? If you have a little bit of makeup, then you can take the call. I mean, there are some days when, if I'm too lazy to put any makeup on at all, I won't put that Facebook on at all. That way, I can't get caught unprepared if somebody wants to talk to me on video. Which, oh, I'm glad I'm not going to use it anymore because I just dropped that brush on the ground. Step 2, or step 3, we are going to use this color, which almost looks like a taupe kind of, sort of. And this is going to be the crease color. And this brush is BH Cosmetics Studio Pro number 6. And this color here, get a good coating on it. Then I'm just going to hug the crease. I want to make sure that there is a good amount of so-called white or off-white here. If this gets too close to the eyebrow, then you won't have enough contrast, and this look will look too natural. Not only would it look too natural, it would also, I would think, not have much shape to it. Some contrast is necessary to have a nice shape for your eye makeup, I think. Other side. Now, if you think that it's gotten too close to the eyebrow, then it would be a really good idea to go back over. Now, here's what you want to do for your brow bone area. Get a brush like this is a vegan B&H Cosmetics brush, very similar to the other brushes. And I'm going to dip into this pearly kind of color. It looks pretty much like a pearly white. Get good coverage on this brush. And then let's hit the brow bone just underneath your eyebrow color. Time for the other eye. You know what? I want to get a little bit more of this white color. You could use a slightly smaller brush for this also. And another thing you could use if you don't have that many different shapes and sizes of brushes, take the same brush, load it on the color that you're using, then get your fingers close to the edge. And what you're going to do with the brush is you're going to make it flatter. If you do this, you can get a different shape out of your brush. Then hug your brow bone area very close to the eyebrow. I'd go ahead and dip this in again. Make it skinny again so that you can do this size, this side. I'm not using an eyeliner for this. Oh, I am going to, however, color the under eye area. And for that, I'm going to use this big brush again. And I am going to, again, use this color down here, which would correspond to my crease color. Get a good coating on this. Then I'm again going to make the brush smaller. Just hold it between your thumb and your first finger here and hug the lash line. Then I'm going to repeat this process. The other eye. It will really stick better to your lower eye if you primed it with the same stuff that you use for your eyelid. If you put some of that underneath, it will make this color show up much better. Now, time for the mascara. I'm not trying to make something out of nothing, so I'm going to just use this Ulta Beauty Bold Ambition mascara. And for this, and keeping in mind this is not waterproof, so it will be easy to wash your makeup off when you're done. If you are especially lazy, you could probably skip the oil that I used and you could just go ahead with soap and water. Or you could do a makeup towelette and then you could do soap and water afterwards. But with a look like this, the hardest thing to wash off is going to be your sunblock. And that's another reason why I really like a foaming cleanser like a soap. Because some of those sunblocks can feel kind of greasy and tough to wash off. Just like some of the long wear foundations can, or any foundation that has pore clogging things like mineral oil in it. I would definitely use a mascara that's easy to remove. And if you have a repertoire of mascaras and some you don't care for too much, that would be the mascara that I would use for this, because you're stuck at home. You're probably not going to see anybody except the people you live with. And it seems to me that when you're stuck at home, those are the times to either try new things or to use up things that you don't really care for so that you at least get to use them up. I'm all about using up what I have and eliminating as much waste as possible. So I certainly love to be able to have chances to use up things I'm not thrilled with, or find new ways of using things, making things work. Like one of the things I like to do if my roots are really getting out of hand, and now I understand that depending on how long this shutdown is going to be, there's going to be a lot of people running around with longer roots than usual because they can't get to a salon, and maybe certain things are hard for them to do themselves. So if you do have your roots showing, it seems to me that maybe you might want to use an eyebrow color that looks more like your roots. Okay, I'm definitely going to do mascara on my lower lashes. I thought of using a black pencil liner and doing like a waterline for this. That's another thing you could do. But again, if the theme is easy, uncomplicated makeup that's easy to remove, that doesn't necessarily have to be your most dramatic look because it's going to not be seen anyway. Or if you have a valid reason for not seeming like you're trying too hard. Or maybe if you were doing an online job interview and you had to look quote unquote professional, this would work, I would think, in a similar fashion. Even though I would suggest not letting people get used to seeing you with eyebrows looking like this if this isn't the way they're normally going to look. I think people are probably less comfortable with seeing eyebrows not looking consistent than they are with any other kind of makeup. I could be wrong. Here's the lipstick that I'm wearing. This is actually a mini MAC lipstick that I got as my birthday gift from Ulta. I missed my birthday gift the previous year, but I happened to be in the store my birthday month, and this is what I got. And I really wasn't thrilled with this lipstick at first because I'm really not a nude lip color kind of person, but sometimes they do come in handy. Now, maybe you might think that this needs some kind of cheek color, some kind of highlight. I don't think it's necessary. If you're just hanging out home and nobody's going to see you. Now, for reference wise, if you really wanted to, any of these light shades here could be used as a highlighter. And there's no reason why some of these colors can't be used for contouring and or cheek colors. So you can really get a lot out of this Foil Eyes 2 palette. There's not a whole lot of palettes that I own that I think could be absolutely standalone palettes, but this is definitely one. You have options that are bright, you have neutral options, but there's enough what I consider to be neutral, not particularly exciting colors, so that you have things that you can use up if you're just sitting around and nobody's probably going to see you. Yeah, it's good to have options. But I will be so glad when all this is over and we can get back to our economy running. And I really hope that you guys watching me can ride this out. You stay healthy. Please don't get exposed to it. If you have neighbors who are reckless and careless and are running around and are getting exposed, maybe don't open your door to them. People need to take this seriously. I'm seeing too many people floating around outside, and they tend to be the ne'er-do-wells of the building, or not of the building, but of the neighborhood. And I hope this virus doesn't come back to bite them in the ass, because they're going around spreading the disease, and that's just not cool. Okay, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I'd love to have you subscribe. I make 3 new videos a week, and I'd love to take you along on my adventures. The cats are out of my room now, so they can't say goodbye. It's just me. Oh, unless you want to see my Maniki Nico, one of many. Okay, take care, stay safe. Please, stay indoors. It's not worth getting a coronavirus. You don't want it. Talk to you soon. Bye.